Yo, welcome back to Morning Coffee with Tim, episode 2, season 2. Thank you to everyone for listening to all the episodes so far. If you haven't checked out the other episodes, please go do that, but not before you listen to this episode, which is going to be one of the best episodes we have, because I met these guys 2 weeks ago, about a week ago.
Yeah.
And cool guys, amazing stories. Can't wait to get into it. Lindsay Keane Cody Matthews. Is that right?
Adams.
Who's Matthew? I don't even know who that is. Eldon, that's Eldon. That's another friend. Shout out Eldon. But okay, Lindsay and Cody, boys, how are we? How are we doing?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, awesome, mate.
Firing, if I'm honest.
How's your day been? Because I know you're like super productive. You're up. You're at it 5:30.
Oh, we've already done like 15 things this morning.
Yeah. What have you done? Talk us through it. Talk us through it.
Keen, tell
Yeah, so 4 a.m. wake up, jump straight in the shower, 5 eggs each,
Yeah.
and then we come back and we go to the gym at 5:30 a.m. Seeing
Nice.
Eldon Matthews,
Yeah, Eldon, the
guy.
other guy. Yeah.
train legs, come back. Where do we go
Recovery.
then? Then we rode the scooters to recovery, ice
Where do you-
bath and sauna rounds
Yeah. Nice.
at Bali MMA.
Bali MMA. Shout out
Shout out.
Bali MMA. Yeah.
Shout out, yeah.
And then we came back, went and got a haircut,
Looking sharp.
Booked in his tattoo.
booked in a tattoo.
Nice.
Protein.
First one.
Yeah.
First one on my back.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
getting a
Okay.
big back piece, like whole back covered.
Oh,
Nah,
nice.
It's not.
Yeah.
But it's weird.
Bali MMA logo
Yeah,
on the back. Yeah.
It's only since being in Bali since I've wanted to get one.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, yeah, I'm all good to get one. I was always a bit worried about getting one.
Yeah, yeah.
Should I get one? What's everyone going to think? Now I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah. That's sick. I think the best place to do it is Bali.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I see loads of, I think you see more people with tattoos there than without tattoos. But I'll not get one this time, Mum, I promise, but I might next time I'm back. Right, boys, let's start off. Let's get into the simple questions first. I want to dive into your story, your mind mafia, all the good things you're doing at the minute, but I want to first figure out the most important thing, the coffee order. What do you drink? Any coffee experience? This is Morning Coffee with Tim.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of coffee chat, and then we
Yeah.
get into the good stuff, but the coffee's the great stuff. What is the coffee order? What are we drinking?
I've got a flat white here, normal milk, full cream, because I'm not a pussy.
Yeah. No pussies here. Shout out Andrew Tate, right? And what do you drink, Lindsay?
I got flat white, but I drink every coffee.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
coffee?
Every coffee. Except for like those chai latte things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Oh, the
matcha
sweet
latte,
ones? Yeah.
Yeah, I
If
just-
that's even coffee. but-
Yeah. Do you feel like you drink coffee for the taste or for the caffeine hit?
Yeah, I was always taste.
Depends
Yeah.
what mood I'm in. Like
Really
if I'm
like
early
taste.
morning and it's cold.
Double
I'm going for
espresso?
a double espresso, yeah.
Straight in.
If I'm just cruising, I'm getting like a latte. If it's
Yeah,
a nice
yeah.
day, maybe
Yeah,
a flat white.
Yeah. It's
Cappuccino if I'm feeling a bit like...
frisky.
Yeah, one of the-
It's gonna be
some kind of mood.
The dolphins are dolphin. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Dolphin.
But what would you say? Is there any, like, you boys are from the Gold Coast, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Surely there's a coffee culture there. Is there? I always picture like Australia as like
Yeah.
they really care about their coffee.
The hot
there
girl
is.
walks?
Yeah, hot girl walks with like your coffees in the morning.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not as like big as like Melbourne or something.
Ah, okay. Where
Melbourne's-
would you say the biggest coffee culture is? Sydney, Melbourne?
Probably
Where-
Melbourne.
Melbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that's just like a
They def-
stereotype though.
I
But
feel like
they
it
like-
is, but they make jokes about Melbourne, little skits and stuff.
Wearing like your vests and like.
Yeah.
walking, like,
That's gonna be me. Like
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
moved to Australia, that's gonna be me. Little
Yeah.
coffee and everything. But I feel like most of the good coffee shops in Bali are Australian owned.
Yeah.
This is what I find.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
because I was chatting to an owner in where was it, Gili T or Gili Air, one of the islands. He was an Aussie guy, started up a coffee shop on an island, and any of the good ones that I've went to, I always try and chat to the owner or someone that works there, and they always tend to have like either serving Aussie coffee
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like Australian influence in the cafe. You know,
Yeah, you would have been
Yeah,
to
right.
a few more cafes than us, I reckon.
I've been to a few.
Yeah,
I've been to a few. Most of my days are filled
Yeah.
with cafes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
You're a bit of a coffee connoisseur, eh?
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. Well, this is what. Whenever we went to Nude this morning, they were like, we ordered flat whites, and they said regular or large. Doesn't sit well with me, guys. Doesn't sit well with me. Regular or large. A flat white should be a standard size.
Oh, there you go.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
a flat white, if you make it bigger, it ruins the. Because a flat white's supposed to be small for a reason.
Never thought about that.
It's supposed to be small for a reason. So that's why if somewhere offers you large, shout out Nude. By the way, the coffee's really really nice. But if you're offering large, it's like do they really know what they're talking about?
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. I don't know.
I could. That's also. It's a very
specific.
realistic option. Yeah. But right, that's enough coffee chat. Actually, I do want to talk about one more thing. Coffee.
Yeah.
This is a tough question, but any experience that stands out, or you boys don't love coffee as much as me, so I kind of think maybe about where I've had a sip of coffee and it's been an amazing view, or like the cafe's been amazing, or like something big happened. Maybe you were working on your business, whatever.
Yeah.
Any like experience that you've remembered, like, and thought, geez, that sip of coffee hit different. Like
That's a good question.
that's
actually.
like, oh geez, because for me, a lot of people talk about, whenever people talk about like fulfilling their soul, like happy moments, watching sunsets, the moments where you just like are at peace and you're like, geez.
Yeah.
For me, a sip of coffee in like a really nice coffee shop, watching the sunset, or like with a nice view, maybe with a good friend catching up, I just kind of take a sip and I'm like, geez, I feel zen, I feel good. If you had any moments like that with coffee in particular?
I feel like a coffee always tastes better when it's cold. Like
Oh,
outside
really?
on like an early morning and it's like really cold.
Yeah. When it's wait. Okay. I thought you went when the coffee was cold, like ice.
No.
Yeah. That
Like
makes
a
sense.
hot coffee.
Yeah.
I lived in New Zealand for a year, so it was pretty cold during winter.
Yeah.
And you wake up early in the morning, it's dark, and you're having a coffee. That's probably like
Yeah.
what you're talking about for
Hits
me.
different. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Like on the way to work, just a nice hot coffee. I was only drinking black coffee too.
Yeah. I get you.
You're gonna hate me for this, but I actually love instant coffee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so good.
What?
It's like
Any
that.
It's like hey,
any instant coffee in particular?
It's
Or?
like the Nescafe one, bro. It's
Nescafe Gold or something?
But any really, like
I'm not like someone that'll be like, oh, get out of the room, like that's a disgrace. I'm thinking it, but like no, it's not, because instant coffee, some of it can be good. Like
I really
whatever. Like I take decaf a lot of the time.
Yeah.
People will be like, that's not real coffee, blah blah blah. I don't really care as long as it tastes good.
Yeah.
decaf.
So you're for the taste then,
the
not
caffeinato.
caffeine.
Yeah. No, well, I've always been tasty. Like I haven't felt the effects of caffeine or coffee in years.
Yeah, I feel like same. I'd always just drank it because I like the taste of it.
Yeah. Sometimes I will go on like I'll do 3 months on, like a month off, go decaf for a month.
Yeah, right.
And then, decaf still has caffeine in it. A lot of people don't know that. It still has a little bit of caffeine in it, but not much. But whenever I take my first coffee after that month off, I'm a little bit zinged.
Wired.
I'm feeling a little bit wired.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a month off coffee.
Yeah.
I don't need to because I'm not like addicted.
Says the addict.
That does
Only
sound
4
like
coffees a day.
Yeah.
4 a day.
No, we try and keep it at 2.
Yeah.
Two's
You boys are definitely like a cut-off point.
Yeah.
Do you stop?
For sure, yeah.
At what, like 2
caffeine
o'clock?
After 2, yeah.
Yeah.
12,
like,
12 for me.
Yeah,
12?
you're not going to really have one.
Well, you boys go to sleep at 8, half 8.
Yeah.
I've made the mistake of having a coffee at 2 from Starbucks and then sitting in bed and you're just wondering why you're still awake.
Yeah.
And you're thinking
hate
back your
that
whole
too.
day and you're like,
Yeah.
what's different? Oh, I had that coffee.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're just kicking yourself.
Because that's like, what's the, like, I think caffeine lasts like 8 or 9 hours in your system. So if you're taking it at 2, you're into 10. That you're probably just like, you're struggling to drift off to sleep.
Yeah.
I get
And
it.
I
I'm the
hate
same.
that.
I'm the same. I wouldn't drink coffee after 12 or 1, but I don't go to bed as early as you boys. You boys are dialed in, which we will get into. I want to go back. I want to go back to the start. What age are you boys? Like early 20s?
22, yeah.
22.
22, both 22. Right.
24 for anyone that's sexy that's watching.
Bit more. He's really mature,
you better
guy. I
cut
swear.
that out.
Yeah, so mature.
24.
Yeah, 24. But we're in Bali at the minute, obviously, where we've had a great time, but this is like the future. I want to go back a little bit. I want to go back to your upbringing. When did you first meet? Like, when did you become mates? Because you are like inseparable now. You're living in a little guest house together and all. It's cute.
Yeah, we're like brothers.
Funny story. Like I was actually intimidated by Cody.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like in my class, I was a bit more of like a nerdy guy on my computer playing games.
He was a nerd.
And you were
Yeah.
you were
And I was
a
like, a bit of a bully, I
Bully,
guess.
yeah.
Like the class clown. You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't want to talk to this guy because like I
He's
don't know,
just
he'll probably roast me or something.
Yeah.
But that's when I first met.
Yeah, and
Met you.
it was actually I reckon it was from Endgame. And like he used to play like this game on his computer. It was like you and Wiki. And he
Yeah.
used to be like really good at it. And when I couldn't get over a level, I'd
Yeah.
always go to Keane or Wiki and like
Yeah,
get him
I was
going.
like-
Can you
I was like
complete
the
this level for
master.
me?
Yeah.
So that's how we like started talking.
So when did you become? Were you best mates throughout school, or were you like just friendly.
Yeah, we became best mates in like grade 9, 10, eh?
Yeah.
And then I actually moved to... We were in the same circle of mates, so we got like four... I've got 4 best mates, including
Yeah,
Cody.
yeah.
And we're in the same circle, and then I moved to his estate.
Yeah.
And that's
that
when we
was
become real good mates. I had the phone call with him. He's like, bro, we're going to be hanging out every
Yeah,
single
yeah,
day.
yeah. What age
It's
is
gonna be
this?
sick. 16.
good. Yeah.
16.
Yeah,
Okay, fair. So I was like, what, 7 years ago, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And what, like, throughout school, like, was there, like, you were obviously saying you were a bit nerdy, like, into, like,
That's the early stages of high school.
so what, that was, like, 12, 13, 14. So at 16, whenever you met, did you become, like, alpha, like, Cody? Like, or did you slowly just, you know, did you change personality because you were hanging out with Cody, or did you feel like you kind of just gravitated together because you were opposite, like, opposites chat kind of thing?
What would you say?
Well, I don't know. When we started hanging out, like you weren't really nerdy.
Nah,
You know
we
what I
weren't.
mean?
No, I was just, when I first came to the school from a different school,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
know
yeah.
anyone.
Ah, okay,
So I
yeah.
just played
fair.
video
We sort of
games.
had like my best friends were friends with Keane's best mate.
Okay.
So they all lived in the same sort of area.
Mm.
So then we just sort of like those people were hanging out, and like I was going over to my mate's house, and they all lived in the same area where Keane lived as well.
Yeah.
So like that's how we all started sort of hanging out.
Yeah.
And then we just sort of grew closer and closer.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he moved from that area with all our other mates into my area, and then we just became like super close then.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we were like a 2-minute skate from each other's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
yeah.
You say skate?
Yeah.
Actual skating? Like
Skateboard,
skateboarding?
yeah.
Is that like Aussie?
Just trek everywhere.
That's
and
A
what
lot
we
of
used
it-
to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
We used to just ride our skateboards everywhere, bro. We used
Man.
to go
10
to
kilometer mission.
we used to literally go to parties and then just skate home at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I dream of being able to skate, man. I just
really?
can't
Yeah.
skate. Like,
Yeah.
well, all of our roads are gravel, so it's, you just can't.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you can't really skate.
yeah.
But me and my mate said to me, he's got awful balance, and he just said, I've always told him like you just won't be able to skate in your life. I hate like shooting people's
Just tell 'em
dreams.
straight
Like.
up. Yeah.
I told him, I was like, segwaying and skating's just not for you. You know, like anything that involves balance. I was like,
Segway.
yeah, like, do you know the little like
Yeah.
two-wheeler thing? He can barely stand up sometimes, so I was like, you know, don't try skating. But I've always wanted to be able to skate. Whenever I go to Oz, do you think skating life's for me?
Yeah, you can get
We-
into it,
we
bro.
could show you a
It's
thing or
something
two.
that you need to learn from like when you were younger if you want to be any good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like surfing.
So I'm just,
Or riding a bike.
so I'm
we
just
were even
dumb
too
now?
late.
I just can't skate.
Yeah, you can.
Right, okay.
You can learn, but
Okay.
it's like it's hard.
We haven't skated for years, but we could probably still
I
kick
could probably
flip.
still kickflip and stuff.
It's like you just pick it up and then it's all good.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, yeah, right, okay. Anyway, away from my skating, I will learn to skate, and
I'd love
I'll
to see it.
take a video of it sometime. Yeah, kick flipping's probably not for me, but I'll just wheel it on the ground. Right, so at school, growing up, because obviously I want to get into, like, you obviously do the Mind Mafia now, you're obviously, like, personal development, you've got YouTube channel,
Yep.
all this good stuff going on, but there's a lot of things that happen to get to this point.
Yeah.
I
for
assume,
sure.
because I don't know. I've obviously chatted to you. I've obviously like worked with you for like a week or two. We've had chats. We played pool together. Went for food together. Roaring Sika, Mama Sika sorting us
Shout out
out with
Mama
that
Sika.
spicy
Oh, yeah.
chicken. Yeah, I doubt she'll listen to this, but I'll send her a link or something.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of find out. So you're at school. What do you want to do? What do you want to go on to do? Because I know you both went into like trades. I think early on. So was that something that you seen yourself doing long term, or what was the kind of idea? What was the goal? Or did you not have any big goals? You just
had
kind of
no clue.
no clue.
So
No clue.
we became like pretty good mates, and then like that's when we figured out like how much fun we have together.
Yeah.
So then we started trying stuff out together, like smoking weed, and
Okay.
that's
It
it.
was actually Keane.
Weed
You
is the
brought-
gateway
You brought
drug.
it into the group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But everyone
That's
wants to try it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and I was like, hey, I'm Keane.
Yeah.
but we're also
Thanks,
like
Keane.
the best duo at like a party or something. Like
Right,
playing
okay.
like beer pong or something, we wouldn't lose.
Yeah.
We've just got like this energy when we're together.
So-
and that's sort of just been created over the years.
Yeah.
It's like that's why like we just do everything together. Like, all of our stories that like we'll probably tell today are just together.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I get that. It's nice to have a mate like that. Like I have a mate from home, and it's the same. Any experiences that I remember, he's always involved.
Yeah.
Like that, which is nice. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that like bond with someone where you're
Yeah.
like, you know, they're more like a brother rather than a friend. You know, so that's really cool. That's really cool. But
Yeah.
so weed, you brought weed into the equation. Drugs, any harder stuff? Like what was the process from obviously you're 16, 17, leaving school, was university an option? Was it like, what did you kind of think after them later school years? Like, did you get good grades, bad grades?
Yeah, we were both like not dumb.
Yeah,
like we were
pretty
both
fine.
like pretty smart, but we just hated school.
Yeah,
like I'll
yeah.
talk for me. Like I hated school. Like especially as I started to get older, just school was not the thing for me. Started to want to just like we were just wagging it and like skipping school, like having smoking weed before we go to school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, sort of literally just fell into a trade. Like I actually left the high school where we went to school together.
Yeah.
In year 10, I got kicked out of my house from my dad and from a bunch of stuff, and I had to go live with my mum.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, well, and she lived in Broadbeach, and Broadbeach is like ages from Pimpamar where we went to school.
Okay.
And so I had to jump on a bus to go to a train station and then train and then get picked up from the train station in Coomera and then get driven to school. So it's such a trek. So I just left that and went to a trade college. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, what trade do you want to do? And I was just like, oh, what one pays the best?
Yeah.
And then they were like electrician. And I was like, all right, well, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And you had to have like certain grades. And luckily I had like the grades from year 10. I had some from year 9 math or something.
Yeah.
To like be able to get into it. And then I just literally did one work experience with my old boss. Who I literally just left like 3 months ago and just stayed there. Yeah. Worked with him for like 5 years, but literally just fell into it. Didn't even know what an electrician was.
It was just natural, kind of like I get you. Which happens a lot of a lot of people fall in and are still in. I get you. What about you, Keane?
Yeah, same thing. I didn't really know what to do, but my dad's best mate owned a carpentry company.
Yeah.
So I just talked to him. I was like, hey, Dad, do you reckon you could put a word in for me? See if you can get me in. And he said, I went on a motorbike trip with him, the boss, and he said he'll put me on as an apprentice. So I was like, yeah, cool. Started doing that. And then I was up in Brisbane. So the first day of work, I walk into this huge building high rises, 80-story high rises.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone, and I'm like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And there's like 80 full-grown blokes in there, like 30 to 40 years old, don't know anyone, just anxious as, it's like, oh crap, here we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good for me. Like I was lucky, my dad's best mate, and that's still a contact of mine, like real good contact.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you both left school at 16, 17?
Nah. We both graduated.
Oh, you finished? What's that, 18?
I stayed in school.
Oh, and worked. So you worked while being at school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to trade college. It's the same sort of thing. You do like 4 weeks and you finish all of the like core subjects that you need to finish.
Yeah.
And that's your term, and then you do work experience for the rest, like 10 weeks.
Yeah.
So it like starts your trade as well.
Oh, okay.
So I was pretty much working as going to school as well.
Yeah. Fair. So whenever you left school, obviously working a trade on the side, going to trade college. When did you kind of like? How much did the partying have an influence? Like, did you feel yourself falling into a little bit of a? I feel like a lot of people do, like a repetitive cycle, or like going out at the weekends, like doing drugs. Like you start to like feel really, I don't know, worthless, or like, is this just what life is? Just like a hamster wheel. Like when did that kind of kick in? Because obviously we'll talk about what you do now. There's obviously been a journey. So when did it kind of kick in, or when did you kind of get into that habit of just partying, drinking, girls?
To be honest, it's really fun. Like we loved it.
Yeah.
Like literally just every single weekend we were going out partying, doing all sorts of fucking drugs. Like it was just fun. We didn't even care at the start. Like if you're still in, like you're just in your trade, so it's just like you just go to work and all the boys there just partying shit anyway as well.
Yeah.
So it's like almost cool if you like my tradie, we were like best mates. I was like 16, he was like 24, and I'd have a fake ID and we just go to the pub on like Friday arvos and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was just fun. Like it was actually good.
Yeah.
But then I'm pretty sure, like I can speak for both of us, is we sort of, everyone was just doing it.
Yeah.
And then we were like,
it was the norm.
We were like the ones who sort of went, I don't really want to go out this weekend.
Yeah.
And like same thing, we felt like you were like just doing the same shit every weekend.
Yeah.
And like nothing, you're going to the same clubs, you're seeing the same people, everything was just the same, but like you almost can't get out of it. You like feel stuck.
Something every weekend, like a birthday, and then it's that mate's birthday again already next year, and you're like, what the hell? We already celebrated big party.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's just different events every single weekend that
you're
kind of tied to.
Yeah. And did you ever think, did you both kind of know that there was something more for you? Like, like deep down, or were you like, I could be not that there's anything wrong with being a tradie, whatever, you know, it's a good, solid job, but did you kind of think, did you ever think this is my life and I'll just stay in this and party? Or was it always something in the back of your mind that was like clawing at you, just be like, nah, this can't be it?
There was definitely something more for me. Like, I started getting a pretty good pay every week, and then I'd be spending it. And then same thing, that repetitive cycle, spend all my money. And then it got to a point where, like, I'd have breakdowns at work because I was so anxious. You know, like, I'd just be like, oh, what the hell? Like, working with all these older guys and can't even talk to them, can't even look them in the eyes. And I'd have to, like, do this. Like, I had to go to, like, I work near the beach. And I'd go to the beach in the afternoon at, like, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And sit on the beach and just breathe. Like, no phone, no nothing. And I was just like, that helped me a lot. Like, just doing big breaths. I knew a bit about meditation, but not much. But that just kind of calmed me down, and I kind of... Because that helped me, I looked more into meditation to help me, like, just chill out. I knew, like, I needed to stop partying, but you're so addicted, it's so hard to stop. So meditation was definitely the first thing for me, and I kind of talked to you about it. And you're pretty open-minded because we're best mates. And
which is good. You
whatever he's doing, I want to do.
And I feel like you need something like that. You need someone like that because, like, if you don't have someone to bounce off, or if you had them feelings but you had no one to kind of like convey them to, it's hard. It's really hard to break through that on your own. Whereas if you've got someone else, like, let's do it together.
And
that's
you can
nice.
tell when I'm like real about something. Like, bro, this made me feel really good. Try it.
And
we were like with our other 3 best mates at the beach all together, and him and I are just like meditating on the beach, and they're all giving us weird looks. Because it is a bit weird. Everyone's like, what the hell? But we're like, nah, let's just do it. It makes us feel amazing. You kind
it's
of
out of the norm.
You take a step back from everything in life. You're just like, okay, cool. I'm alright. I'm just here. Now.
I feel like once you get the feedback, like that's what it takes. You need to do something enough that you're like, oh, this is actually making me feel good. Whereas partying does that, but it's like a short term positive. You're like, oh, this is good. But there's no long term benefits really. Whereas meditation, cold water, it's like anything. Like what I say to my clients too, it's like building habits. Habits work in 2 ways. You can build negative ones. You can build positive ones. They're like snowballs. You build one, like you started on the beach, breathwork, felt that little bit of a buzz. Then that kind of rolls, and then it becomes like a bigger part of your life. So I feel like the fact that you both had each other was a big thing there, because if you didn't have mates that were willing to try that, that's whenever people don't push on. They're just like, I'll just settle, because they don't have someone else to kind of be like, nah, come on, we'll give it a go. But no, that's really cool. Look, so the meditation, breathwork stuff, you were saying you were sitting on the beach, you felt good, you felt like a buzz. What did that kick off? Like, what was that the start of? Did you kind of start doing it more regularly? Did you like read more personal development? What was the avenue you went from that? Because a lot of people would just do that and, then just go back to work, party at the weekend.
I was already in the gym for a couple of years. So I knew that made me feel good, and I liked doing that. I knew I wanted to get bigger because I was pretty self-conscious about being skinny. So I was doing that, and then like go to work, and I was super anxious because we'd party all weekend, get to Monday, just a bit fragile. So I kind of had to hit that low point to start meditating, and then I worked out that meditation makes me feel good as well. And then I don't know, we were just addicted with like feeling good. We started getting on the roll of like, wow, what makes us feel good?
And it's the same thing, like you said, we would just, like, if someone found something, we'd tell the other person. So, like, we'd find what actually started, like, a big part of, like, our self-development journey, like, to get us where we are is 31 minutes, I would say. Learning about, the law of attraction and frequency is, like, a massive, like, buzzword in our vocab. So we just started learning about that, and it's like, bro, I just started listening to this podcast, you need to listen to it. And then we both just like, oh, did you listen to the new episode? You know what I mean? Like, and just that sort of kicked it off a lot.
You start surrounding yourself with more and more and more.
That
and
becomes you just get like addicted to it, and you just like go deeper down the rabbit hole, and you just keep going, learning more stuff, like implementing it, and then you're like, holy shit, like if I just like think this way, then my day actually goes better. And you're like, oh yeah, and then the gym was a big one. Because we were both very skinny, like really skinny. So we're both pretty self-conscious about our bodies. I was in the gym like way after all the boys, but that was like a massive part because you'd be training 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And then you'd go and party 2 days of the weekend, and you'd just feel like, oh, I've just lost everything that I've just fucking worked for the whole week, you know?
Yeah.
So that was probably a big part in us sort of wanting to stop going out, is because we started taking our bodies more seriously.
Yeah. What would you say, what kickstarted the gym? Who went to the gym first? Who was was it like a, I'm skinny?
That was me. I went to the gym for a couple years.
Yeah, a couple of years before me.
Before Cody. I went to the gym before all our mates, really. But
Yeah.
that was because of the self-conscious thing about being skinny. I was always taller than everyone
Yeah.
in school.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was really skinny, and then like even like girls would say like, "Oh, you got the skinniest legs," and
Yeah.
like
That's-
they don't
that-
realize that hurts you.
man.
That's no.
That
good.
digs deep. Like, yeah, that
Dude.
definitely does hurt. Like, you don't think about these things at school.
Like everyone thinks saying someone's fat's rude, but also saying someone's really skinny.
Oh
is
yeah,
rude, you know?
for sure. Like
100%.
you don't think like at school you're just a little twat. Like you just kind of say whatever. You don't think words have any weight.
Yeah,
But words now growing up, like as you become more self-aware, this is what I tell my clients too. Like words hold so much weight. Whether you're talking about someone else or yourself, if you're calling yourself fat, useless, like you're gonna believe you're fat and useless.
Yeah.
So then it's funny at school. You always think back to a time where a girl said something or one of your mates said something. And you're like, geez, I'm 28 now. That stuck with me. He said that when I was like 13.
Weird, eh?
It's
Got, like, a limiting belief.
Yeah,
around it,
100%.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that can have such an impact of such a fleeting comment at school.
I know. It's
So
like a thrown out there.
yeah,
nothing
so
comment.
so anyone young, there's all ages listening to this, but anyone younger, just be careful about what you're saying. Like I know you have to kind of grow up and realize these things and realize that what you're saying actually means something. But yeah, definitely at school when I think back, it's like, geez, I remember something that some random girl said to me, and I was like, at the time I was like, I don't care, but I was like, geez, I'm still talking about that 15 years later. But that's crazy. But a couple of things you said there that I want to kind of pick up on. I want to kind of dig a little bit more into the gym as well. But Cody, you were saying, you keep saying out of the norm. I just kind of picking up. You're like out of the norm. What do you kind of feel? Do you boys feel like you're not sheep? Do you feel like you want to you don't want to do everything everyone else? Because it's something that I really believe in. I'm like, coming from Northern Ireland, a lot of people have a plan. You know, they kind of, there's a societal norm, so to speak, where everyone does this or does this, does that. And anyone who tries to push out of it kind of gets laughed at or does this, or they're like, who does he think he is? Who do they think they are doing this, doing that? Starting a podcast, blah. You hear little murmurs. Like, I've been on the football pitch before and guys have said to me, oh, you make, like, try to give me abuse, the worst abuse in the world. They're like, oh, you putting out them rubbish videos on Instagram, and you start to see people's real feelings. I was like, we're on a football pitch, I don't know what you're talking about, but they just start to give you a little abuse. You kind of like, oh yeah, and they're like, this is the mindset of people. Like, this is the same person that would like a video, but then the back would be talking about you to their mates. Like, who do they think they are? They think they're better than them because you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah. It's huge in like Western countries. We call it tall poppy syndrome in Australia.
Yeah, I've done it. Yeah, tall poppy syndrome.
If you're standing out, they'll cut you down.
Yeah, definitely. Is that something that kind of like is big in both of your lives? Like, in terms of like, not necessarily wanting to do something that's different than everyone else, but just being like, going your own path and like forging your own kind of, you know, reality, so to speak.
100%. And like the people in where we're from, like everyone that you surround yourself with is just doing the norm and or like doesn't care about not doing the norm.
Yeah.
But the more we dug into all of this stuff, the more we learnt, the more knowledge we gained.
Yeah.
We realized that if we want, because I always saw myself being like really rich or like really successful, and I was like, oh, I'm a Sparky, like everyone's a tradie, like, but I can't, like, I even like looked at my boss and I'm like, he's like very well off.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I make like 200 grand a year.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? That's not even that good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, well, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, and he works like tirelessly, like all night.
Every hour of the day.
Yeah. And like works all weekend. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to do that. So yeah, I don't like the norm, but everyone seems to just want to do the norm, and that's what we relate partying to now is like just the norm. Yeah.
It's like I find it's more because alcohol's a drug, right? Like alcohol's the most common drug.
Yeah.
But it's weird that if you don't drink alcohol, you're the weird one.
Yeah.
Like that shows
100%.
you that it's became a societal norm, which is like crazy, because if you were to say that about cocaine or a class A drug, and it became the norm, you'd be like, geez, that's mental. But
Yeah.
alcohol is just so widely accepted. I think it's, I think it's nuts. But do you kind of find, do you boys still go out? Do you kind of like, what way do you sit with alcohol now? Because did you struggle with it? Did any of you kind of slip into addiction in any way, drugs or alcohol, or did you just kind of find like addiction's a spectrum, like, so
We drank every weekend.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We're not really addicted
We didn't
to drinking.
We didn't drink. We were addicted to partying, I reckon.
Partying, yeah.
Just like that, like, oh, what can we do this
gotta do
weekend?
something.
Yeah.
Have
Like,
to
I
do
need to go
something.
out and drink. But we're addicted to, we started smoking cigarettes when we were like
we
15.
got ciggies, don't worry.
Yeah. It's like when we were like 15.
Yeah.
And then where did we go into?
And then,
Like ecstasy.
a few pingers.
Yeah.
Xanax.
Caps, yeah.
Xanax
MD.
seems to be a big one in Oz.
What
is that? I
I
don't
was
even know
addicted to Xannies.
Is that like a what is that?
It's like a
numbing thing or something you were telling
It's
me?
like a what?
Like a numb? Does it numb?
Yeah,
Antidepressant,
it's like
eh?
antidepressant. So
Oh,
if
okay.
you're like really badly depressed, you get prescribed Xannies. It's like, do you know what a Valium is?
Yeah.
It's like a stronger Valium.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I was actually selling them for a bit.
Right.
Yeah. So I just had them on me always.
Yeah.
So then I just ended up eating them at home. And just like in my room, just doing nothing.
Yeah.
And you'd just be
Supply.
like,
Yeah.
and you, and you just be like zonked. That's like the way to describe it. You just like can't like my mate actually rode down. I've got a video.
I see it, yeah. Face
He
planted,
rode, he rode down, broke his collarbone, and didn't even feel it down train stairs.
Yeah. and
So
just
like
kept
you
charging.
can't feel anything on it, bro. Like you could be in a full fight and you
Yeah.
wouldn't even know, and you can't remember anything.
Gee, and do you feel like you were chasing something or trying to get away from something? Like what do you think because people take drugs for a reason. Like it's either to fit in, get away from a problem, or chase a feeling. Like
Yeah. So at the start, it was just like we were talking about this the other day.
Chase the feeling, definitely.
Yeah. With the people we started hanging out with, were just like doing all these drugs. Like we'd literally just go and sit in the shed and just see who could eat like the most pingers.
It was
And,
like
if
a
someone
hierarchy.
else,
hierarchy. Whoever could
that's
eat
a
the most
good
drugs.
word.
he's the ping master. Like
Yeah,
No, like we were
they're
like
like
the
the
bottom
coolest.
of the.
Right,
you know?
okay,
You know,
okay.
like the fastest kid when you're young is the
Yeah,
coolest.
yeah.
It's like who can eat the most
Yeah.
drugs.
I'd rather be faster than
Yeah,
be able to eat more
yeah.
pingers. Like
Looking
Yeah.
back at it, me too. Yeah.
It's the stupidest
But
thing.
we were like the bottom of the hierarchy, so we were like almost looking up to these people. Like
Right,
we were just
okay.
like little Keane and Codes. Like
was there older people in this?
Yeah,
okay.
older people. Yeah.
Okay.
So like, and yeah, some of the stuff that we did was fucked. Like just stupid. Just, like 4 drugs and stuff. Like
Yeah.
oh, I'll give you a bong if you go and do this, and it's like you just go and do it because you're just
Yeah.
addicted to. You just want another bong.
That's
Like,
Yeah.
rock bottom.
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
like that's pretty bad.
This is like, what age? Like, was this from like when you first like 18?
This is
Nah,
early.
this is earlier.
That's like
Yeah.
15.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh,
we're
15,
pretty
16,
young.
right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Just going to like and literally getting picked up by our parents like the next day, and we're just scattered as. I just had like 6 pingers last night.
They knew.
Nah.
You were
Nah.
no.
Just a bit hungover, had some drinks.
Yeah.
Like
Just lying.
Yeah,
lying
just
all
lying.
the time.
yeah. Did
Sneak-
you?
To your parents.
Yeah. Do you think your parents kind of know? Do they know that you done that now?
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
it something that like?
Yeah, my dad and I are like best mates.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think, that's mad. Like that's for me the way I grew up. That's like the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, like I still haven't done, any big drugs. Like
Yeah.
so it's like it's mad to hear that was just the norm.
Yeah.
And was that the norm? Like was most people in your school doing that, or was it like were
It
you
was
just
like
a
our
select group?
Nah, it was definitely
like
us.
our group. So we
The
actually,
cool kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it is like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
cool group. Oh, they smoke weed and they
Yeah,
do
yeah.
all these drugs on the weekend. It's like you come into school and you're like you're pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
you like talk about it like you're the man.
You
Yeah.
smoke
And then
weed before
everyone. It's funny because we would smoke almost every day at one point. But we'd come to school and like everyone would judge you and shit. And then like flip the spectrum. We don't smoke or do anything now.
Yeah.
And all those people who were at school like judging us or like making fun or like fucking whatever they are about us, they all smoke and drink and party and have all these pingers and stuff now.
Yeah.
So it's like the roles of like
Yeah.
reverse, you know?
So you done it, got it out of your
Yeah,
system.
yeah,
Exactly
yeah.
right.
Kind of found your path from that.
Yeah.
But now they went a different route.
Exactly,
They thought
yeah.
they were maybe better because they like high and mighty,
Exactly,
and then
yeah.
they've slipped into it. Yeah, it's like sometimes you have to do these things to figure it out. Like, I don't know if you ever make a mistake.
No.
I'm a big believer, like, if you never make a mistake if
Yeah.
you learn from it. Like, if you make a mistake and keep making it, then it's an issue. But if you like, it's all like the butterfly effect, and whenever every mistake you make, every decision you make leads to somewhere else,
Yeah, I agree.
and that's your life, you know. So I want to dig a little bit deeper on the anxiety side of things,
Yeah.
because anxiety is like a buzzword now, right? Like everyone talks about anxiety. It's more openly talked about now, which is great. Mental health in general is more openly talked about.
Yeah.
Because my parents' generation, mental health barely existed. You know,
Yeah,
it wasn't a
100%.
thing. Depression wasn't a thing.
Tough
It's like, go out and do a bit of work, you'll be all right. You know.
Yeah.
What's your experiences with mental health, anxiety, depression, even maybe, like growing up? Do you feel like you ever fell into that? Like, I know you talked about it, Keane, about being anxious, like in like social like situations or going into work. Do you feel like that was something that you had to kind of figure out as you grew up? Because now you put videos on YouTube, but you know, whatever, the anxiousness isn't there as much. We all experience anxiety from time to time, but what's the kind of experience with anxiety, mental health, depression for both of you?
I think it was mainly like, it was weed, like smoking weed all the time, because that stayed the whole time while we were drinking and while we were doing other drugs, and across the whole 4 years of our partying, we would always smoking weed.
Yeah.
And like weed, you just get in your head, and then you think everyone's thinking of you.
Yeah.
You can't talk properly. And then like, I'd go into work and I just wouldn't be able to look guys in the eyes or girls. Like I'd get so anxious around like my girlfriend at the time. Yeah, it's definitely weed. I think weed just got me out of the comfort zone.
Yeah. What about you, Cody?
Yeah. So I don't know. I was always like the confident kid, like class clown and stuff like that. So I never really had anxiety, I just didn't think about it. So like it didn't come up. Like, but weed is like a big one. You think everyone's looking at you, but like I'd sort of just be like, oh yeah, like sweet. I'm just like this.
Yeah.
But anxiety for me came up in like not even too long ago, like in social situations. So like I'd be going to an event or something, and that's why you drink, because you have that liquid confidence, right?
Yeah.
But then after I started to sort of not drink, I realized that holy shit, I actually am not confident at all.
Yeah.
Like I actually and it's so like weird, because everyone's like, oh yeah, Cody's so confident.
Yeah.
Like everyone sees Cody as so confident.
Yeah.
But then like when you're actually by yourself, or like because no one else is in your head. But you are. So you're like, and then you're like, holy shit, like I'm actually not confident. But everyone thinks I'm confident. Holy shit, I need to fucking impress all of these people. Like, so then that's how like my like social anxiety came about, is when I sort of stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have that liquid courage, like I couldn't, and I realized that I couldn't talk to like males. I couldn't look anyone in the eyes. I definitely couldn't talk to girls.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, oh shit, I need to do something about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like I actually went when I was addicted to Xanax.
Yeah.
And I thought I was depressed. I actually went and got like checked and everything with my mum. That was when I got kicked out of my dad's house and went and lived with my mum.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just having like Xannies and smoking weed in my room and stuff.
Yeah.
And Xannies like make you like depressed, really. They
slows everything down.
Yeah, slows everything down.
Yeah,
you actually like have no emotions when you're on them. So then like when you get a little bit, like you feel a little bit shit, anxious, depressed, whatever, you have another one and it sort of goes away, and then it just makes it worse for when you come back. Like it lowers your baseline of like happiness, really.
Yeah.
So, but in my thought, I was like, oh, if I go and get like the doctor says I'm depressed, I get prescribed more Xannies.
Right.
So
okay.
that's what I was like thinking.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Pretty junky.
Yeah. Which is crazy. So you were like doing it to try and chase that again and get that feeling. So it was like a hamster wheel, constant, just like. Yeah. So when did you feel like you needed to break out of that? Like when was it a video you watched? You said about reading about that 31 minutes
31
book or
minutes
whatever.
Podcast, yeah.
Definitely 31 minutes.
Yeah.
When was that? When was that in the scale of things? Like, was that a year ago, 2 years ago? Like.
Nah, that'd be like started learning it like 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like, you watched that. Was that the first thing that you were like, oh, geez.
The big thing that stopped me from like doing all the drugs and stuff is I actually got signed up in my apprenticeship, and I was like, all right, well, this is my job now. So,
Yeah.
But I still smoke weed every day. Like I remember used to ride home from like work experience and get the bus and train and whatever, and then I'd just ride. We actually made a billy hut in the bushes near our.
I don't know what that is, but
like a bong hut.
all right, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Like a little.
Yeah, like literally just hut made out of like branches and wood and tin sheets and stuff, and we used to just like have camp chairs in there and just smoke bongs in there.
It's terrible, eh? And you didn't know if anyone was going to be there. You just race there after school.
Yeah.
And there'd just be
Just
random,
go in and
random people there.
hit a bong.
Yeah, heaps of bongs.
It's terrible.
That's.
But yeah, so I got signed up, like actually got signed up in my apprenticeship, like right as I graduated school.
Yeah.
And yeah, that sort of stopped me doing like all of Xannies and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, I better like I said, like I always felt like I was still all right, but like it was just fun. I just liked doing it. So yeah,
I don't. The Xanax thing, I'm struggling to understand, because how is lying there numb fun?
Dude,
Does
I
that
don't
make you
know.
feel? Is that like a? Does it make you feel kind of like out of body high, kind of like?
Yeah,
or what's
it's
the?
sort of, but it's like
'Cause it's an
you put it
antidepressant.
on your tongue, you feel
Yeah.
fucked.
Okay,
Yeah.
because it is an antidepressant, so it obviously it's obviously the opposite of that feeling. So it
Cool.
must be.
It's
some,
actually a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a sick feeling.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's probably still like now looking back, like I've done heaps of drugs, and it's probably like the best feeling drug.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah.
You
But
know Wolf of Wall Street when he's just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like the lewd?
Is he that?
The
Is he
lewd.
that?
like the lewd.
kind of similar to that.
Similar
Okay.
to that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's sort of like that. You know how he like gets to drive the car and he thinks he drove it sweet?
Yeah.
And then he
And
gets back
yeah.
and it's fucked.
Yeah.
That's like Xannies, bro.
Just completely
Yeah, you
not a
can't
clue.
remember anything. Like anything. Like we did some bad shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we used to go to
Driving
house
and shit.
parties.
Which is super dangerous, like.
Yeah. Like
It's
you could
really
go to
bad.
jail and not even know what for.
Yeah.
That's how
Or you
bad
could
that
die.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
you'd just be like, oh, sweet.
Yeah,
dead
so
now,
we used
but-
to like fully go to house parties, like, and when you drink on them as well, like 10x is the effect. So
Yeah.
you'd have
Yeah.
like 2 Xannies and they're like $10 each, so it's cheap.
Yeah.
So you'd have 2 Xannies
What a
and
bargain.
then just have like a half a box of beers each.
Yeah.
And then you'd go to a party and you'd just be absolutely maggot. And we'd fully
do
wake up
anything
with
you
like
want.
watches, credit cards, everything in our phones because we'd just go through the bags at the parties and just steal shit.
So you just became criminals on them too?
Pretty much,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
We like used to like check car doors when we were
Yeah.
walking home and shit. No.
Yeah, you just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't
you're
care.
just like, no cares.
Or
no
you
cares.
just
Which
walk-
probably makes it so good because you're just carefree.
yeah,
Completely
yeah,
like.
yeah.
You're just trying to fight the sleep.
Yeah.
And if you fight the sleep,
And then when you
just get
fight
cooked.
the sleep, you just cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cook the goose.
Yeah,
Jeez. That is actually
It's hard
nuts.
to explain, but
Yeah.
You
So
can't remember anything.
nothing
Yeah.
at all.
Nothing.
no. And like I said, like you're almost expecting to be like super cooked. So like when you put it on your tongue, you're like, oh, I can feel it already, Kane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like G'd up.
See, I talked about the positives of having a friend that you can like go positive, like, you know, do positive things with.
yeah.
This is obviously the negative side of
Yeah,
you were like,
yeah.
oh, Kane, look, I'm getting cooked, and he's like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
getting
if
cooked.
he's doing something, I'm doing
Yeah,
something.
then it's
Yeah,
both
yeah.
like it works both
Yeah.
ways. But every
Yeah.
relationship works like that. But what would you say? So obviously getting into like more, what would you say, the come up, the personal development,
Yep.
where you're at now, like history of drugs, like cook the goose, whatever you want to call it.
Cook the goose, it's a new
The
one.
goose is fully cooked, it's burnt. What would you say? Would you say you have addictive personalities? Or would
I
you say you would?
Yeah,
Because
I
it's
do.
something that I've noticed. I actually mentioned it to Charlotte too. I was like, you seem to be very all in.
Yeah.
Like even with your work now, the gym, it's like regimented. Like even when you're like past 7 o'clock, you're like, oh geez, you know,
Yeah.
got bed to hit. Like that.
That's just discipline.
That's
Yeah.
that's discipline. That's kind of taught. But would you say you were addictive personalities in the sense of, do you think you could live a balanced life now, or do you feel like you need to be extremely disciplined in a certain way because you want to get to somewhere, or do you feel like what's the kind of goals at the minute? Like what do you kind of think in terms of that? I'm interested in the addicted side because obviously you've done loads of drugs. You weren't addicted, but you like done loads of drugs and went all in, and now it's like the complete opposite. Is there an in between, or do you feel like you need to be an extreme of one or the other?
Not at the moment, because we're just starting this business. We made the choice to quit our jobs, move here.
Yeah.
We can't have any excuses. We can't just go
There's
out
no
and
time
drink.
to
Yeah,
finish
there's
it.
sacrifice and I get you.
Yeah, we've got to like give it our all.
Yeah.
So in bed by 9, 8 even.
8 we turn off
up
the
at 4.
devices.
Nice. Yeah. A little hour before. Love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's up to us to make it work. So we don't want to I don't say I don't drink. Like at Christmas time, I'm going to have a drink.
Yeah, like we talk about it. We're keen to go back to home and have a party over Christmas, over summer and Goldie.
We kind of worked it out though, that like we just want to keep feeling as good as we can. Like I feel amazing.
Yeah.
Best I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
We always say that every single day.
Yeah.
As much as we'd love to go for a party and a drink.
And like for a bit there, we did gym throughout the week and then like have fun on the weekends.
Yeah.
Like I would call that like balance, I guess. And so I've lived that, and I know how good I feel when I don't do that, and I don't want to feel like that throughout the week. Like if I'm willing to accept the sacrifices, or I'm willing to accept the fact that I'm going to feel shit for a couple of days, that's when I'll drink. But like unless it's Christmas or he's getting married, I'm not really doing it. Yeah. Or like overseas with our best mates, like we were rowdy, you know. But and I was willing to accept that I'm going to feel shit for a week after. Do you know what I mean? So, and right now I don't have a week to feel shit.
We're moving a step forward every single day. And if we would have a drink, even just a one drink, step back. And we're not willing to do that.
I don't do step backs.
At the moment, we're we're firing so hard.
Which it's not even like for me, like I feel like there's definitely, you need to be disciplined, monk mode, like focus. There's a time and a place for that 100%. And I feel like when you're growing a business, I've been there, still growing a business. I don't think the business journey ever ends. It's constantly evolving, different things. And I've been there, but do you ever feel like, do you ever feel burnt out? Do you ever feel like tired? I suppose because you've got all the positives, like you go to bed at the right time, you go to the gym, you've got outlets, like positive outlets. You don't do drugs. You don't like drink as much at the minute. So I guess burnout probably seems far away, but has there ever been a time, because I know looking at a screen, building a business online, you can get frazzled very easily. Like have you experienced any of that?
But
that's a negative like alcohol would give you. But it's just, from pushing.
So say like you get burnt out from your screen, right? Or like working too hard. Like we live a very like army routine lifestyle. Like we're training at this time, we're working from this time to this time. If you got burnt out and then you're like, oh, I'm going to go, like I feel like shit, like I'm going to go and party this weekend. That does nothing to...
You're plastering over a crack.
It does nothing to unburn you out, to make you feel better, right? So, but I feel fantastic. And like you said, we have a schedule that is super like strict. We're strict. Like you said, we leave dinner at 7:00 because we've got a bedtime. Like we literally have a bedtime.
And this schedule's just been tweaked. Like over the last couple of months,
well,
little bit.
Making it perfect. And it's like people are like, oh, like what happens if it doesn't work out in Bali? What happens if your business doesn't work? But it's like we're doing every single thing right. Like we don't even have a vice. Like we don't. Our screen time's fantastic. Like we don't eat as like heaps of sugar. Like we have no. Like we don't watch porn. We have no like vice. Everything is done right. So it's like it will work. We just have to keep doing everything right. Like what we're doing right now is just perfect. So it's like in both of our heads, it's like it will never not work because we're doing everything right. So, and we feel fantastic. Like we're the healthiest we've ever been. We eat like athletes. We train like athletes. We fight. Like everything is perfect, and it's like we balance our work with our fighting and schedule. That's our balance. So we feel fantastic. I don't think that I'll burn out.
Do you ever feel like this isn't normal? What you do, you're out of the norm, which is what you always say about it. It's always something that you've said it maybe 3 or 4 times in the first like 20 minutes, which is like obviously something that's important to you. Do you ever feel like, how did it switch so drastically? I'm really keen to know, because you're still young. Like you talk like people that are in their early 30s. Like there's people want your discipline that are like 40. They dream of having your discipline, but they just never stuck at it for long enough. And you boys were Xanaxed out, like partying, like 3-4 years ago. how there had to been some kind of stronger switch. There had to been a why. There had to been a reason. There had to be like something, because you don't just go from where you were to just be like, I'm going to be a disciplined like monk overnight. There has to be something there. Is there anything that you can kind of think of that was like, you must have felt lost, or you must have felt like this can't be what life is? Something had to push you to get to this. I'm keen to kind of know what it was, because you don't just go from drugged out, like what you're talking about. There has to be more, like it's not an overnight thing. There has to be more of a transition there. What do you think was the kind of the trigger? Was it a bigger reason? Was it a like, I want to make someone proud? Everyone has a why, right? Like there has to be something there that's like pulling you forward.
To be honest,
worthlessness maybe, or whatever.
For me, like as like you said, like making someone proud, like I was always very like selfish. I'd always just think about myself, and I was like, I know that I'm better than this, like I'd just be feeling shit, and like and when I actually experienced feeling good, I was like, oh, well, if I just do that. And I'm very like logically thinking person. I'm like, well, if I just do that, I'm just going to feel better. So why would I not feel better? And then obviously like you're still addicted to the party or whatever, so you still like go back, and then you're like, oh, I feel fucking shit again. And it's just like it's literally for me, it's just like learning. And the more like the deeper I'd go into the rabbit hole of me feeling better, it's literally just about me. That like it sounds bad, but I just would literally think about me. Like I want to be rich. I like as bad. It's changed now. Like I'd love to like pay my parents' mortgage off and stuff like that. But the start of it, I was literally just thinking about myself. I was like, and I had really, really high expectations of myself. Like I was very athletic, really good at anything I did when I was younger. So I knew that I was really good at anything that I really wanted to be. It was literally just, I was like, fuck, this is like not it. And I always had this, like I said, a vision of me being rich, a vision of me being successful. And we realized that doing this stuff is not like on the right path to do that. It's sort of just like a self thing of me feeling shit and realizing that what I'm doing is not actually giving any support to what I actually want to do. Just being selfish really is what I can put it down for, and just having high expectations of myself. There was no like drastic thing like, oh, like I've nearly died a million times, but like it's just too young and dumb to even care about that. Like we used to just get in cars and drive them just fucked up and shit. Nearly died a million times, but like got brought home by the cops heaps.
So
like,
lucky.
Just but don't even care about all that. Like that would be a turning point for a lot of people, but like didn't even care about any.
That's what I was thinking. There, I was like, is there a moment where you were like, geez, I got a second chance here, but you didn't think much of that. You were just young, naive,
just think that like you can run the world, you know.
Yeah. What about you, King?
I kind of made the actionable step, and I moved to New Zealand. I don't know if he told you that, but I moved to New Zealand for a year.
Right. Okay.
Before I came here. Literally this year, I just moved back, came to Australia for a week, and then Bali. So I haven't been home for like over a year. But that was me like excluding myself from the situation, because obviously we're already on our self-improvement journey. I was pretty good in the gym, meditating, doing like all the good stuff, eating healthy. But then there'd be like, something will come up every like month, even 1 month. Like it would be like your best mate's birthday or something. Like you still couldn't get away from it, no matter how, like even like, I wanted to go longer than like a month or two. I wanted to go longer. So I went to New Zealand. I got this opportunity from my boss. And he offered me to come work over there. And I was just by myself, didn't know anyone. Actually met like one of my best mates now. His name is Jake, and he doesn't drink or anything. He never drank. Super into the gym, into golf and all that. So I got into that. But that was like this whole last year has just been like a huge detox for me, like a year. I might have drank a couple times for like Jake's birthday. But I wasn't drinking. I was just training, eat, sleep, repeat, work, you know, like meal prepping. So I started doing this like routine. Started boxing. I was in the uncomfortable zone. I had to go talk to like new people at the gym, make friends for myself.
Work, you got a promotion at work.
So he seen me over in New Zealand, like, so you just turned it up a notch too, you know? Like if I'm turning it up a notch, he's turning it up a notch.
It's nice to have that, like when you see your friend doing well, you're like, ah, geez.
I actually remember a key point of when he came back from New Zealand to like just visit.
Yeah.
And we went to the gym, and this is like when I was saying I had no no social confidence, had social anxiety, and I saw him go, just in the gym, go up to the biggest dude and knuckles him, and
Yeah,
I hadn't seen him in however many months,
Yeah.
and just knuckles him and have a yarn with him, and I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, if Kane's doing that, I need to start talking.
You
to
boys
people.
literally do that to every person in Bali now.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's like, you wouldn't believe, bro. Like 6 months ago, I couldn't like really talk to anyone.
Yeah.
Like I could, but like it would be hard. Like I'd have to
Yeah.
like really think about it, you know?
Yeah, to paint the picture of Cody and Keane in Bali, it's like they know everyone. It's just like,
Yeah.
Chantig, Mamacika, fist pumps.
Abagaba.
They're eating in their back garden instead. Like they get private seating at the back. It's just, it's crazy. I would love people to kind of see it, but and you can see it. You've got a YouTube channel and stuff, which we'll get onto. But I was watching one of your videos last night. I would say doing research, but I was just watching them because I wanted to watch it.
Good videos.
Yeah, great videos. But you mentioned environment. I think it was a video you were doing at Cody where it was like 5 or 6 things that you need to do or like
Completely
steps.
change your life. Yep.
And environment was a big one, which stands out for me because anytime I felt stuck or like the wheels aren't turning, I've always been like, I need to get out. Like I need to move.
Yeah.
Moved to England for uni. Got like first time living away from home. Massive step up in life. Then, you know, traveling, whatever. That's whenever COVID happened, then I opened a gym and kind of felt like I was staying still. I wasn't happy. I wasn't where I wanted to be. Right. You know, go online. Then I was like, right, where do I want to be? Bali, travel, like meet more people.
Yeah.
Environment's always played a massive part in my, like, every time I move environment, I progress or I learn something or like I notice massive improvements. You were obviously saying keen about going to New Zealand. That was like the first step in that.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah.
So do you feel like that? I know that would be my advice for anyone who's feeling stuck. Like, just get out of your like hometown, whatever.
100%.
Just move, like go somewhere different.
Yeah.
Appreciate someone else's culture.
Yeah.
Don't know anyone.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any better way to grow. I don't know what your
Definitely
boys'
makes you
opinions
grow
are.
up. For
Completely
sure.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would even say like if you're a younger person, like a first step is like move out of home. I moved out of home last year, and even just like being by myself and doing everything by myself,
fending for yourself.
Yeah, like a massive step in my growth. And then even like one step further is moving overseas. That like is massive. I'm like a completely different man to who I am when I touched down in Bali like 2.5 months ago.
Yeah.
Literally like completely different.
Yeah.
And it's just from the people that I've been meeting, the environment that I'm in,
Yeah.
like the culture, like you said. Yeah, it's massive. Like if anyone's stuck, I'd definitely
Go to
recommend
Bali.
that as well. Yeah, go to Bali. Yeah.
Come meet the boys.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think, what would you say is the other, like obviously environment's a big one. If you're, because you boys do, we'll get on to this very soon about the Mind Mafia and like the program that you do and the Modern Day G. Is that the YouTube? That's the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What would you say is the other important aspects? Like if someone's struggling in a bit of a rut, you boys have obviously had such a massive turnaround from Xanax, you know, running downstairs and face planting, whatever, to now in like 2-3 years. It's a short space of time. Like a lot of people struggle with them things for years and years and years, into their 30s, into their 40s.
Yeah.
So what would you say, other than environment, are important things to like help you kind of level up, push on?
Environment, definitely who you hang out with.
Yeah.
gotta
Average of the 5 people you hang around with.
You gotta leave
big
that
believer
bad
in
group of friends, eh?
Yeah.
100%. The people that you surround yourself with. If you're not in the gym, you need to be in the gym.
Even if you just got one best mate that's like on the mission with you, just like
Yeah.
let's stop drinking together.
Yeah.
Like, let's go to the gym together.
Yeah.
And keep each other accountable.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's the gym's a big part. Like I feel like the gym or a sport or fitness in
Yeah, you
general,
need
I
to
feel
be
like
fit.
it's obviously me being a fitness coach. I obviously always preach that, but
Yeah.
it's so important. I done a post yesterday on Instagram or a couple of days ago about sport and how much of a role it's played in my life. And if I didn't play sport, I'm not the person who I am
For the
now.
mental side, eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's why I
100%.
go these days.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
100%.
It's like it's just like a place where you can also see growth. Like you can see progression in such an obvious way, whether it's in your body, whether it's in your fitness, whether it's being out of breath less, you know, it's so easy to see progression, which is what I think us as humans thrive on. We thrive on seeing progress, which is why a lot of people don't stick to things, because in the gym, you're not going to see much in a month.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't see that, and then they like give up.
Everyone wants instant gratification.
But I think, do you know what I think the big problem is about that? Society is so instant now. contactless payments. You tap your card.
Yeah.
Like convenience meals, McDonald's literally takes about
Yeah.
30 seconds to drive around and have a full meal, burger, chips, whatever. Everything is so instant, and I think it's the comfort thing as well. It's just so comfortable, whereas people don't want to push against that. I used to always have a picture on my uni wall where it was like the comfort zone and then success. There was like a little circle, like success.
Yeah.
And it's so true, and people would laugh at me, motivational quotes and whatnot, but motivational quotes mean nothing if you don't actually action it in your life. You don't actually become disciplined, or if you don't actually search for what you want. But I'm keen to get on to like the mind mafia stuff. So that's obviously what you do now. A program for men to progress. Tell me about it. Like I don't know much about it, apart from I see you working on it every day, putting out videos, doing the grind. So
We probably got the idea from changing our main core group of mates.
Yeah.
So there's 5 mates, including Cody and I.
Yeah.
And then Cody, you had you told one of our mates straight up, like, I'll cut you out of my life. Do you want to tell it?
Yeah, so he was just a bit like lost. He was partying a bit. This is when we were we were pretty dialed. Like you were in New Zealand already for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like we were pretty dialed at this point. Going like months at a time without drinking until like something would come up. Like reaping the benefits, like feeling good.
Yeah.
And he was just drinking every weekend, doing coke every weekend. And I was just like, I'm pretty straight up. Like,
Pretty cutthroat.
Yeah, I'm pretty cutthroat. And like you said, I'm either all in or all out. So it's like when I'm learning about like all of this stuff, I'm like, nah, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And then, I just said to him, I was like, if you don't change, I'm just not going to be your friend.
Yeah.
And then, he took it on board and completely changed.
You said,
his
I won't
life.
know you next month.
Yeah, I said, I won't know you next month.
Like a lifelong friend.
Yeah. And he just completely changed, and he lost 15 kilos of fat.
Yeah.
And he's running marathons.
Again, coming back, the power of words, like one little bit of what you said, it's completely changed that guy's life. So I guess that's what kind of triggered in your mind. Geez, we could do that for other people.
Yeah, 100%. And we've always been quite leaders.
For sure. People ask us questions and stuff. And look up to us in a way.
Yeah.
And whatever, someone is stuck in my head. One of our good mates, Josh, he said one time, he's like, oh, where should we eat? Oh, let's eat here. And then I was like, no, I don't want to eat there. He's like, oh, well, wherever you want to eat, we'll eat. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, I get you.
People just do sort of, not in a dicky way, but whatever we want to do, or whatever we're going to do, people just come.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I've always been a little bit of a leader.
Yeah. Setting an example kind of way.
Yeah.
Well, if we didn't want to go somewhere, we wouldn't go.
No, I'm not going. Yeah. I'm like, oh no, fuck that.
Well, that comes back to not following the crowd.
Yeah.
Whereas some people are sheep. Some people are more like, whatever you want, wolves. I don't know, whatever animals kind of lead the pack. But I think that's a big personality trait that can take you a long way if you use it in the right way. Yeah. So obviously you used to use it for drugs, partying. Yeah. People would follow your example for that. Yeah. You've flipped the switch now, and you're using it for positive. Yeah. Which is massive. But tell me about the My Mafia then. What's the goals? What's the mission? This is what you've been working on now for what? Since you've been in Bali? Yeah. Did you start working when or before Bali, or what was the time?
We were recording videos for YouTube and stuff.
YouTube videos, and we made an Excel spreadsheet and just wrote out this course. We're like, this is what's going to be involved in it. Fix your mind, fix your body, nutrition, training, and all that.
Mindset, testosterone. It's literally just everything that we've used to go from our drug addicted selves and drinking, partying every weekend, hating our lives to where we are now, dialed.
Yeah, so we've learned how to think properly to get us here. Yeah. And we've learned how to train, and we just we know the route. Yeah. So we just made a course out of it.
Yeah. You're the real life example of what's possible. Which is the best way to start a course. Yeah. Everyone has a problem that you then want to fix, and then you figure out the journey, and then you're like, right, I can teach this journey to other people.
100%.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which makes complete sense. So what's the mission? What's the goals? Obviously, I see you working on it every day, putting the hours in. Do you have any big life missions? Is this something that you want to work on? Is this your...
We haven't got a number, but we want to save
we're going to help millions of young men. We want to the mission is to take people who are sort of stuck in life. They feel stagnant. Their life's boring. Their life's shit. They live for the weekend and have shit characteristics. people that we wouldn't be friends with. Like, I'm not going to go and hang out with this person.
Yeah.
And teach them the characteristics, teach them the brotherhood, like through the brotherhood and the course, the characteristics of someone that we would actually be friends with, someone that we would go to dinner with, like someone that we actually want to have in our circle.
Yeah.
That's like the main thing, because we were exactly the same. We were fucking losers. Like, I wouldn't want to be friends with me 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But then I've learnt over the years the characteristics, and we know the route, and we can fast track that route for anyone that is stuck in that sort of lifestyle.
Get guys out of the bad habits and into the good ones.
Yeah, I get you. And I see that, like, you're clear examples. I've only known you a couple of weeks, but it's clear examples of, like, it's very easy to see what you're about, like how disciplined you are. And it's good to see, like, two guys that are so young with such a mission. It's like from such a turnaround. Like, I don't know if you realize how quick that turnaround was. That's why I was keen to get you on the podcast and just kind of be like, what was the flick? What was the switch? And I'm glad we kind of dug a little bit deeper and seen, like, right, okay, there was other things there. There was influences. Yeah. But how much do you, like, we're in Bali now, obviously, incredible place, incredible people, like some of the best people in the world. It's just like, we've all got a shared love of Bali. How much do you think Bali's had an impact on your journey? Like, you obviously said you're a different person to 2-3 months ago when you arrived. Like, what would you say Bali, like, do you think, is Bali special? If you'd have went to, I don't know, somewhere else, would you have had as big a change? I guess we never know, but how much do you kind of say Bali's had a massive influence on the growth and the change?
I'll say we're always going to do it, but Bali's good to come up to a place and build a network, build contacts. So we've met so many people that have given us tips and tricks and like told us how to do things and how to actually build it properly. Yeah. But yeah, it's been massive. I think it's more for the network side of things. 100%. Who you're meeting and they teach you things and you take traits from them. You're like, oh, that guy's awesome.
Yeah. The people and the conversations that you have here are like next level. Especially from at home. Like, I almost didn't even want to talk to anyone because everyone's just like so close-minded and boring. Like, and
weird about money. Like, you can't have proper
money mindset's a big problem. Yeah.
The way I like to describe it is in the Gold Coast, and I mean this in like the most non-dicky way, but I felt like I was the smartest person in the room, and so I needed a new room. So and coming here, I'm like dumb as compared to everyone. Like, everyone has so much more knowledge on everything than me. And it's so good. That's why I'm learning so much, because I'm asking questions and I'm learning stuff from each person that I'm talking to, each conversation I'm having. It's because I like took the leap and put myself in a new room.
We've also set ourselves up to be those people that can take on, make those friends. Like, that's the healthy body, the healthy mind. We'll go talk to anyone. We'll set ourselves up to talk to these people.
It's not luck. Like, people would say you're lucky to meet certain people, or lucky. Like, my mate used to always get it. He's a comedian, and he would like fall into the right circles, and he'd be supporting the biggest comedian, and people would say, "Oh, you're so lucky you fought," but he didn't. You have to put yourself in the situations. You have to put yourself. You have to. What's the luck swim preparation meets opportunity? I think the phrase is. So it's like you have to prepare to take that opportunity. It's not luck. But what would you say? Obviously, Bali's like, surround yourself with the 5 people. You end up surrounding yourself with 20, 30, 40, 50. I don't think it's possible to not grow here.
Yeah.
And I think it's one thing that I would say, like, coming to Bali the first time, it was, I don't know, I think you need experience for yourself. It's hard to explain how special Bali is, but the people, like, even being a tribe, we're like a co-working space, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just so many different people, and I think you need to be exposed to that. Coming from small town in Northern Ireland, like, everyone kind of does the same thing, and I never judge anyone. Like, if someone wants to go down the traditional route, get kids, like, have them, have kids, get a mortgage, get married, stay in a job that they love or hate, whatever, retire and then play golf. I don't care, like, each to their own. But I think if you're someone that wants to grow, if you're someone that's feeling stuck, you need to expose yourself to, like, Bali or Thailand or just somewhere different, like different cultures, because I think it's so easy to just get stuck in your hometown. And it's that tall poppy syndrome, and when you start to resent your hometown, like, I appreciate my hometown more now because I came out of it. I feel like if you stay in it, it's very easy to just build a resentment towards it because you don't feel happy. And if you don't feel happy, the only person that can change it is you. Like, you're the only person that can influence that. So what would you say? Mind Mafia, obviously the YouTube channel, I don't like 5-year plans, 10-year plans. Like I'm not a big fan of them kind of things. But where do you see it going? Like next
To the moon.
to the moon.
Yeah.
How long are you in
Like-
Bali for? Like, just give us an idea of what, because we dug deeper on your story, the drugs. Now we're talking about from this moment forward. We're in this podcast studio. We're in Bali. Like what's the kind of short-term future looking like?
We're leaving in December, but the goal is to have 100 guys in the community
By
then.
December?
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's pretty fresh, but yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And as it goes on, it'll just get better and better. As we keep learning, it'll get better and better. The community will get better and better. The brotherhood that we're creating will just keep improving.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got like massive, like we even said like, if all else fails and like we're not making any money at the moment, but if everything fails and we have to go home, we'll go home and we'll just keep working on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no other plan.
We've built the product, and a couple of guys are already running through it, and they're
It's changed
Yeah.
lives
changing.
already.
Yeah.
So that like hit us too. We didn't even realize how valuable it is.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
like, oh shit, like this, it's a human being.
Yeah.
Different man now.
Yeah. And you've
Yeah.
seen it. You've seen it in yourselves.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
you have the ultimate belief in your product because you
Yeah.
are the product.
Yeah.
Like that's the best way to do anything, and I have no doubt that you will achieve everything you want to achieve success wise, because whenever you live and breathe it like you boys do, there's only one way it can go.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
about
That's how I
exposing
think
yourself
as
and
well,
pushing
yeah.
and pushing
Yeah.
and just not giving up. I think that's the main thing, because
Yeah.
you'll hit stumbling blocks. You'll hit times where you're like, is this working?
Yeah.
You'll not make a sale for a month, 2 months.
Yeah.
But we kind
But
of
you
thought about
believe,
that.
you have the belief. Like you've seen A, B, finished product.
Yeah.
You know it works.
Yeah.
There's 8 million people in the world.
Yeah, I
There
know.
is plenty for you to make
Tap
a living
into,
out of
yeah.
this and
Yeah.
sign up
100%,
and
yeah.
influence. People just don't stick at it for long enough, you know.
Yeah,
Which
I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's no other plan. Like this is the plan.
We're prepared to take on whatever problems.
Yeah.
Because this is the route we want to go down.
Yeah,
So we're like,
yeah.
whatever comes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Right, we'll finish off with what would you say, bit of advice, like people that listen to this are anywhere from 15, 16 to 40,
Yeah.
50. Everyone's got a goal in life. You're never too old to make a change. Like, I'm a big believer in that. I'm 28, I'm ancient, so like I have to say that. But like, you're never too old. You can always influence. You can always change your path. People say, I'm stuck in a job, whatever. You can always make a little change that's going to influence where you are in like a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest bit of advice to someone listening? Any age, doesn't matter. What would you say if they're kind of in a rut? Sign up to the Mind Mafia, obviously. Other than that, what would you kind of say? From all your personal development, everything that you've learned, sitting on the beach, breathing, all of these things, what's the starting point?
My biggest thing would be take risks, and the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time to start is today.
Nice.
So just do it. Do
Yeah.
the thing. The hardest thing that you're going to do is actually starting it, whatever it is. If it's getting a new job because you don't like your job, the hardest thing is going to be quitting. But the rest will just figure itself out.
Yeah.
Like we wanted to do this. It's just like, fuck, let's just move to Bali. And the rest will figure itself out. Like we'll put in place structure to make it happen.
Yeah.
But just actually taking the action. Like everyone's afraid of actually getting on that plane with a suitcase with all their shit.
Yeah.
But as soon as you do that, the rest it just figures itself out.
Yeah.
So actually just taking action would
Yeah.
be my bit of
Yeah,
advice.
for sure.
Yeah.
I was actually doing it, but everyone gets stuck in like the future, like this big plan, like how do I even get there? But I call it like the sort out mindset. I was just doing it anyways, where you just sort everything out as it comes. You don't bring emotion to it. Like if something pops up, you just handle it. Like just take the next actionable step.
Yeah.
Like say, I'll use the example, say you spill coffee on your shorts
Yeah.
before you go into an interview, and then you're freaking out. You're going, oh, what the hell? Like, this is the worst day ever. Or you could just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's go into the interview
Yeah.
and smash it. Like, you just don't bring emotion to the table. You just sort things out as they come and make the best move for today, for this moment. Like, stop getting fussed in next week.
Yeah.
Rather live today.
Yeah. It's so true. I think we get lost. This is why I created this podcast, like little snippets. If what someone takes one thing that you said and runs with it and, influences their life, like what you said to your mate and he changed his life.
Yeah.
That's all I want. 1 person, 10 people, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like if I get a message from someone saying, oh, I heard this and I've started the gym. I've done 10,000 steps.
Yeah.
You know, I've started drinking coffee. Great.
Yeah.
What a win. But I think what you said there, Keane, is spot on too. I don't know what video I seen, but I know we can get lost in like, there's so much motivation, self-help on Instagram. You can see so much that you just become numb to it.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why this podcast, you gotta action it. Like, you gotta action. If you just listen to what we say, if you just put a podcast in, I love podcasts. I listen to podcasts all the time, and you're still not happy.
Yeah.
The podcasts are pointless.
Call them self-help
Yeah,
junkies.
Why not
exactly.
be all-
Listen to
Self-help
listen to
junkies,
like a
yeah.
comedy podcast, Dirt Civil, if you want, my other podcast. But like, just listen. If you want to actually make change, we're not going to do it for you. Like, it's going to have to be done. And there's that thing about thinking about the next step. There's a video about a horse in a forest, or like a foggy forest, and like, they just think about the next step. I don't know if it's Jocko Willink or someone said it, and it was a motivational video. My head's full of motivational videos, but
No idea.
it's so true. But I want to finish off. Plug your stuff. Where can people find you?
On that first, we end all of our videos with do the reps because no one's going to do them for you. And it's
Nice.
exactly the same thing. Like,
like
you have
that.
to put in the reps. Like, I can give you all the information, but you still have to take action and do the
That's
work.
like our slogan.
Yeah.
Do the reps.
Do the reps because no one's going to do them for you.
Yeah, mine's
Yeah.
grab a coffee, get your steps, and get inspired. But
Yeah, that's good.
That,
I like
one's,
it. Yeah.
that one's good too.
Rolls
yeah.
off the tongue.
Yeah, do the reps, good too. It's a bit shorter, a bit smarter, but no. So tell people where they can watch you: YouTube, Instagram, where they can follow you. I'll tag everything below, like all the YouTuber stuff. But
Yeah, find us on YouTube at Modern Day G, Instagram Lindsay Keane.
_ Cody Adams.
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I think that's
Yeah,
it.
that's about it. TikTok, Modern Day G.
Mind Mafia links in
Yeah,
Instagram
links in bio,
bios, whatever.
Instagram bio, YouTube description. You can find it everywhere.
Go check it out.
Literally everywhere.
Yeah, but no, do go follow the boys. Like, I've been watching their content for a little while. As I said, we sat up watching your videos last night.
Yeah, I got those videos.
Entertaining, fun, valuable. So no, it's great. But boys, I appreciate you coming
Thanks,
on.
team.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
brother.
I appreciate it. Make sure to do all the good YouTuber stuff, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I'm normally pretty bad at saying that, but share this episode with someone that you think it would be valuable with. And again, just to finish off, just you have to action these things. There's no point listening to the boys, listening to any of the guests. Like, I've had incredible guests on, and they all say things like, there's hundreds of clips we could get from this podcast. I could put them on Instagram, but if you don't do anything about it, it's absolutely pointless. So yeah, thank you for listening. Season 2, this will be out, I don't know when, September sometime. Episode 3 will be coming. Incredible guests lined up. Make sure to follow it. Morning Coffee with him on Instagram, TikTok, all the rest. Have a good one. Don't forget to grab a coffee, get your steps, and get inspired. And I'll see you in the next one.
Do the reps. No one's going to do them for you.
Yeah!
Yeah, son.